Tehran's retaliation is a justified act of self defense and a clear display of strategic resilience, said Dr. Zamir Dawan, professor at Forman Christian College, University, Lahore, in an interview with Islamic Republic news agency IRNA on the Iran Israel conflict. The Friday strikes of Israel under its operation called Operation Rising Lion across Iran are not only a clear breach of Article 2.4 of the United Nations Charter, which prohibits the use of force by stating that all members shall refrain from the threat or use of force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state. The strikes targeted senior Iranian general staff and leaders of the nuclear program. These strikes took place after an anti-Iranian resolution by the Board of Governors of the International Atomic Energy Agency IAEA. The Board of the Governors passed a resolution against the Islamic Republic of Iran on June 12, 2025. The IAEA had repeatedly confirmed Iran's full compliance with the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action JCPOA in 15 consecutive reports between 2015 and 2018, finding no evidence of a nuclear weapons program. Despite this, the United States and the E3, UK, France, Germany ignored IAEA verification, imposed illegal sanctions following President Trump's 2018 withdrawal from the JCPOA, and have since pushed politically motivated resolutions based on unproven allegations. Notably, only one day after the IAEA resolution, Israel launched its attacks on Iran. This sequence of events reveals how the IAEA resolution has been instrumentalized as a pretext by the US-Israel nexus to pursue long-standing strategic objectives against Iran. Although the US claims it is not behind these strikes, President Trump's response, calling for dialogue while simultaneously urging US officials to leave the Middle East, makes clear that Israel continues to receive full US backing. The United States has provided over $150 billion in total aid to Israel since 1948, including more than $3.8 billion annually in military assistance through a 10-year memorandum of understanding signed in 2016. This policy is strongly condemned by a significant portion of American public, many of whom believe that taxpayer money is being used to fund aggressive and destabilizing military actions rather than serving domestic needs. In fact, according to the recent polls by the Pew Research Center, over 40% of Americans under age 40 oppose unconditional military aid to Israel, particularly in light of its conduct in Gaza and the West Bank. Trump's shifts from his America First doctrine to what many now call Israel First is evident, especially in budget priorities, cutting domestic welfare and health programs to maintain foreign military expenditures. This Israeli strike, like those of the Modi government in India, seems designed to deflect attention from domestic political crisis. Netanyahu's government currently faces multiple corruption charges, and the military aggression often serves as a political distraction. The region has now been plunged into greater insecurity and tension, especially as Oman-mediated US-Iran talks were underway. These strikes show how unserious the US remains toward diplomacy, preferring to escalate tension rather than resolve them through negotiations. Meanwhile, the IAEA continues to ignore Israel's undeclared nuclear arsenal, estimated at 80 to 90 nuclear warheads, and its ongoing military operations in Gaza, where more than 36,000 Palestinians, including over 14,000 children, have reportedly been killed since October 2023, according to United Nations and humanitarian sources. This selective accountability seriously undermines the credibility of international institutions. In this context, Iran's right to defend its territorial integrity is legally justified. especially as war appears to be imposed upon it. Yet one must remember that wars are not won by sophisticated weaponry alone. The US, despite its advanced arsenal and spending over $2.3 trillion, was ultimately defeated in Afghanistan after 20 years of occupation. This was not merely a military failure, it was a strategic one. Iran's history showcases a similar resilience and national unity as seen during the 8-year Iran-Iraq War 1980 to 1988, where Iran sustained its defense despite heavy support from Western and Arab states for Iraq. Declassified documents from 1979 US Embassy in Tehran reveal long-standing attempts at regime interference and covert operations, but Iran has continuously demonstrated that true defense goes beyond weaponry. It lies in strategic excellence, intelligence networks, and mass public support. The international community remains divided over Israel's strikes on Iran, with China and Russia leading the condemnation, supported by all 57 members of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation (OIC). While Western nations maintain a strategic silence, Pakistan's Foreign Office expressed grave concern over the violation of Iranian sovereignty, reflecting Islamabad's delicate balancing act between Islamic solidarity and economic pragmatism. Notably, Chief of Army Staff General Asim Munir and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar are currently visiting the United States. This high-profile visit coincides with heightened regional tensions, further testing Pakistan's diplomatic posture. While the military leadership is engaged in bilateral talks with CENTCOM officials, Pakistan now finds itself in a position where it can emphasize the need for regional peace, condemn both the ongoing genocide in Palestine and reject Israel's so-called preemptive strike, while lacks any legitimate international justification. Given the long-standing socio-economic and strategic ties between Pakistan and Iran, the Pakistani public is expecting a more assertive and principled stance from its government in solidarity with the Iranian people. The current strikes on Iran under the guise of IAEA resolution are widely perceived as an imposed war, and Pakistan's moral responsibility as part of the Muslim world demands a clear voice for justice and regional stability.